Hey there, happy Monday. This is my last week of work, and probably for a lot of you too. I'm gonna just make sure I'm actually live. My last week of work until 2021, 2021, crazy. Um, Anyone else? Is this anyone else's last week of work? Anyways, I've been doing a lot of question asking and a lot of listening lately about what is holding you back from starting freelancing. And everyone, there were some, logistical things that we worked out for some people, but for a lot of people it was, hi Beth, fear. So yay, Denise, and you're an OTO, so you have like time to dive in. I'm so excited for you. What was I gonna say? Oh, but it's like this fear, and I got this sense that people are like waiting and searching and looking for confidence. Like they're like, oh, I'll start this when I'm a little bit more confident that I can do this. Here's the thing. It's impossible to be confident in the beginning because you've probably never done this before, right? Like we can only be confident in things that we've done before. So, lost my train of thought, but so if you're waiting for confidence, if you're like, oh, I'm gonna start when I'm confident, that will never happen. Instead, you need the courage to start, and that confidence will come through taking action, through trying, through learning, and it'll come over time. But it's not gonna come in the beginning because that's just not possible. It's a lot like having a baby. When you have a baby and a newborn baby and you're in the hospital and you're holding them, and then it's like all of a sudden the day to go home, you're like, wait a minute, what? Like, I don't, especially the first, you're like, I don't know how to hold them. I don't know how to carry them. How am I gonna know all this stuff? And we're very like anxious in that beginning stages of becoming moms, right? At least I know I was. And then you go home and you pick them up, and then like it just naturally starts to come, and your confidence as a parent grows over time. So I know that's not super helpful advice of like, hey, just start and confidence will come. But I do have some tangible tips to share with you of how you can share, or not share, but how you can work on developing that confidence once you have the courage to start. Because again, if you're waiting for that confidence, it's not going to come. Instead, you need the courage to just start, and through time, that confidence will come. And so a couple things that you can do to grow your confidence over time is, and I just sent this out, if you're on my email list, I just sent this out to our email list. Those of you that open our emails and are engaged, I sent this kind of extra freebie out. It's an exercise that I share in Overwhelmed to Overbooked, and I shared the PDF printable with you in there. But I have this thing called my portfolio and confidence boosters, because I know in the beginning you're like, you find the courage to start, you enroll, you're ready to do this, and then you go through the course and it's like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Awesome. And then when it comes time to put yourself out there to land paying clients, it's like, wait a minute, who am I? Why am I doing this? Can I do this? And I found that a lot. And so I've provided different opportunities to help people like toe dip and really see that yes, you can do this, so that they can build their confidence to go out there and land better paying opportunities. So a couple of things that you can do to increase your confidence once you have made the decision to get started is to do some free work. Now, this can be a controversial thing. Some people are very adamant. I actually just saw something recently that was like, never do anything for free. If you're doing something for free, you are like blah blah blah. And like while that can be true, when you do free work in the beginning for a very set amount of time and for like, a very limited opportunities, it can be so valuable, and so much more than just free work. So if you reframe and rethink about what the free work is doing, and I call it testimonial work, do some free work in order to build your portfolio, and what you get out of this isn't necessarily paying clients, but what you do get is way more valuable than that, especially in the early stages. So number one, you're gonna get experience. You're gonna get experience, and with that experience of doing a project for someone else, you are going to get that confidence. That's like, hey, yeah, I can do this. I did this for them. If you do it and maybe it doesn't necessarily go right, they're like, this isn't what I had in mind. This isn't what I wanted. I'm not satisfied with your work. That's going to be a learning opportunity. And so then you can evaluate, okay, they wanted me to do some graphics. I created them some graphics and they didn't like them because they said X, Y, Z. You can take that feedback, go in and change it, and learn from that opportunity. But if you're in overwhelmed to overbooked, you can also, before you submit that work to the client, you can share it with us in the program. One lady just did this. It was her first time creating some graphics. She was doing a testimonial project, and she shared them with us and was like, hey, I'm doing this for someone for a testimonial. This is what she sent me. What is your feedback? And we all chimed in and we were like, hey, fix this. Hey, fix that. Hey, don't be afraid of white space. She went in, changed it, brought it back to us, and we were like, hey, again, like, tweak this, change this. And then she sent it to the client. The client came back and loved it, and she shared with us the rave review the client loved. So that was really cool to see. So free work doesn't necessarily result in paying or money in exchange for your work, but it is going to result in a confidence boost. It's going to add, when you're doing free work, it needs to be in exchange for a testimonial. And that testimonial you can add that to your portfolio, use that on your proposals, and you can use that in strategic places throughout to boost the person that's hiring you, their confidence in you, because they see, oh, someone else has hired her and they said blah blah blah. So that's another perk of doing the testimonial work. And then also you can add it to your portfolio. You can add the examples that you do for testimonials to your portfolio to show work that you can do. So potential clients can see, oh, this is what she's done before. Because a lot of people, when you're getting started, are going to ask you, oh, let me see, what you've done. Let me see your portfolio. Let me see your work. What's your experience? And when you are just getting started and you don't necessarily have that experience, doing the testimonial work, doing the free work is a great way to show that. Anyone here, have you guys done testimonial work at all? Some tips that I have for testimonial work, if you are doing it, number one, treat it like a paying gig. Have a contract in place or a simple service agreement, and write out how much it would be if you were charging for this, and then cross it out and write in exchange for a testimonial, ability to use this in my portfolio, and feedback on work provided. And then where you can find some people to do this, if you're in the Facebook group, the Live Free Podcast Mastermind, we have a Swap It Sunday thread every Sunday. Swap It Sunday, duh. So you can take advantage of that. You can also reach out to people in your personal network that have a business, people you follow that you want to, that you would like to work with, instead of pitching them like, hey, hire me, you can say, hey, I'm, getting started as a social media manager or virtual assistant. I was wondering if I could help out with insert a specific project in exchange for a testimonial and the ability to use this in my portfolio. Would something like this be beneficial to you right now? And I bet right now people are busy. There's the holidays. They would love to take you up on this. You just have to ask. And then back to the bonus tip of treating it like a paying gig, there have been lots of people where the testimonial work has transitioned into paying work. And my tip on that, we just kind of did a extra workshop on this in Overwhelmed to Overbooked last week. So if you're in there, go watch the Easy Yes workshop that we did. But make sure the testimonial project that you are offering and doing for people is something that will naturally lead into your retainer services. So for example, if you are wanting to get started as a virtual assistant, something that would, I just got a pitch to do, well, that was not a, never mind. But if you're looking to get started as a virtual assistant, what is something that would naturally transition someone into needing you ongoing monthly to help out with? Doing an email inbox cleanup, okay? An organization system setup. That's a great one-time project because you're going to come in, you're going to make their life so much easier, and they'll just have a huge sigh of relief. But then the upsell there is, hey, I can come in and help you manage your inbox daily. My packages for that start out at X. Would you be interested in talking about that? And chances are they'll say, hey, yeah, let's talk about it. Or not right now, reach back out in January or whatever. And then even if they say no, they say, oh no, I'm not interested in that right now, you can say, awesome, well, I loved, working with you on this. If you, you wouldn't happen to know of anyone else who would be needing an email inbox cleanup or help with their email inbox on a monthly basis, would you? Question mark. And they'll either say, hey, yeah, actually, or they'll be like, gosh, let me think of who I can connect her with. So that's another opportunity of how that testimonial work can lead into paid work. Now, so that's one strategy of how to increase your confidence once you have the courage to start. Because if you're just tuning in, I said at the beginning, you're waiting for that confidence, it's never going to come. You need courage to start first. And then once you have the courage to start, there are some tangible things that you can do to increase that confidence. And the first thing is doing some testimonial work. The second thing is if you're like, if you're really introverted, you're really shy, and you're like, I'm not ready to put myself out there even for testimonial work yet. Well, you can do what I call, you can build a portfolio. And a portfolio is work that you could do, and it's not necessarily for a paying client or a testimonial client. It's just kind of like fake work. And to help facilitate this, I sent this out in email. If you didn't get this, if you're on our email list and you didn't get this, or if you're not on our email list and you want this, send me an email, hello@michaelaquinn.com, and say, hey, I didn't get the portfolio builder. But the subject line that we used, if you want to search to see if it went to spam, was, what was it? Searching for confidence to start freelancing. Open that up. I included in you this exercise that I include in Overwhelmed to Overbooked called my portfolio and confidence booster. And what it is I provide 5 potential clients, kind of fake clients, based off real businesses that you and then included multiple projects or multiple services that they might be looking for from a freelancer. And you can look through that and be like, okay, these one, this relates to a client I'd like to work with and a project I'd like to do for a client. You can go through and do that project um, for your own learning opportunity, for your own confidence booster. And going through that, I fully believe if you're like, can I do this? If you're asking yourself that, this will show you that you can. You might run into some roadblocks. You might not know exactly how to do it in the beginning, but if you're in OTO, we've got the Masters of Online Businesses. If it's like a social media thing, you can go through that to see. Or if you're not in there, you can Google how to do, or YouTube how to do, and find that and go through that exercise and be like, wow, I can do this. I love the portfolio and confidence booster. That was like my whole entire teaching career. I wasn't confident in, when I was in college, getting out there and walking into a classroom and teaching kids, but through creating lesson plan after lesson plan after lesson plans and turning it in for feedback, my confidence increased. And when I walked into the classroom for the first time, I didn't pass out of fear. So that's my plug for the portfolio booster. Check that out. If you didn't get it, again, you can email us and we'll send that to you. And then, what was the third thing? Oh, my third thing for how to boost your confidence once you found that courage to start, is to get clear on how your past experience, though maybe it's not directly related to the freelance work you're doing, get clear on how your past work translates into you doing a really good job at the role that you are wanting to take on as a freelancer. And you can get this by going through, if you've ever downloaded my free workshop, michaelaquinn.com/workshop, and gone through that, one of the sections I teach on in that workshop is how to find your skills, how to own your skills and your experience. Go through that and really spend 20-30 minutes going on that and get clear on what are your biggest strengths, what are your biggest talents, and see how can that, how does this translate to me working with clients and helping them out. For example, if I go back to my experience as a teacher, one of my greatest strengths as a teacher was my creativity. I was a super creative teacher. I taught at a Catholic school, and I was given this curriculum and hey, or not curriculum, I was given these objectives and these texts and said, hey, we want you to create our pre-AP curriculum, have fun. And so I had to get creative. I had to do that from scratch, and I was teaching these ancient literature texts, and I realized when I was getting on all of these potential discovery calls with potential clients that they all wanted help with social media. And I lost a lot of the clients up until I figured this thing out, because they would ask, oh, what's your experience? And I had to be honest. And I would just be like, oh, none, but I'm a fast learner. Well, that didn't really translate into me landing clients. But once I kind of went through and looked at my past work and my experience in that role and what my strengths were there, how can this apply to, this business coach hiring me to help her out with her social media? And once I realized that social media is just getting people talking, that's what I do on a daily basis as a classroom teacher. If I can get high school kids talking about Beowulf and the Iliad and the Odyssey and Macbeth, I can get anyone talking about anything. And I told my first client that on a call, and she hired me on the spot. So next thing, if you're sitting there telling yourself oh, I can't do this, I've never done this before, I don't have any experience, own the experience you have. Go through that section in the workshop, michaelaquinn.com/workshop. Go through that. If you get stuck, screenshot your work. If you type it, you can copy and paste it in an email over to us, and we'll tell you, hey, it looks like, based off what you shared, it looks like one of your strengths is X. Have you thought about going X route? And that will help you kind of boost your confidence and, hey, I really can do this. So Lastly, those were my 3 tips. But the best thing to do if you're waiting for the confidence to start is to just take action. Find 5 seconds of courage, take action, get started, put yourself out there, do the testimonial work, do some fake work in order to boost your confidence that you can do this, and own your past experience. Get clear on how your past experience translate into you being an awesome freelancer. Now, I'm going to keep diving into this topic throughout the week over on my Instagram story, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope this was helpful. I wanted to provide some tangible things that you actually can do and go get started. Is anyone going to do testimonial work? So how the Swap It Sunday thread works, it's in the Facebook group. Business owners can post, hey, I need someone who can help me out with XYZ, and you can comment on that thread like, hey, Susie, I'd love to help you with, 5 social media posts for this week. I'll send you a message and we can talk more details. Or business owners can post, hey, I need someone who has availability to write a blog post on X topic. Anyone interested? And, that's the same example I just said. But you can all, mom brain. Either you can post, hey, I'm looking to help out with a blog post, or someone can post, hey, I need help with, and then you can kind of like connect and go that route. Let's see, what else was I gonna say? If you're in Overwhelmed to Overbooked right now, or if you're not yet, this is gonna be my shameless plug for what we've got going on there. We are getting ready to I'm adding a do it together component right now. Overwhelmed to Overbooked is very much you sign up, you get instant access, you can go through as fast or as slow as you want. But right now I wanted to provide an opportunity for everyone that is either just joining or who's been in and 2020 has been kind of crazy if they've let their business fall, or they let imposter syndrome kind of take over and they just haven't put themselves out there yet. Or those that are now, they've been there and they're now pivoting. I wanted to provide an opportunity for accountability to go through and do this together. So we are adding a do it together component to the course. I'm adding 8 additional calls. I have them all scheduled out. I can copy and paste the dates in this once this is over. But we are adding 8 accountability calls. The first one is going to be Wednesday. It's going to be just like a new member welcome, happy hour, come say hi, introduce yourself, get to know other people. And then starting December 22nd, the goal is I have a call date, and the idea is that you would go through and do as much as you can of that step by that date, and then we'll have a check-in call where if you have questions, you need help, you get stuck, we'll go through that together. So there's that accountability of that deadline. Complete this by this date. And so we've got those for step 1, step 2, all the way through step 6, and step 6s will be through January 14th. So you'll have 30 days to go through the course and implement, which is what I typically recommend for setting expectations. Give yourself 1 solid month to go through the program, get your foundation in place, set yourself up for success so that when you start putting yourself out there, when you start networking, when you start implementing what I teach in step 6, it's gonna be a much smoother process for you. So we've got that, and then January 17th we're gonna have a final Ask Me Anything call. Let's make sure you have your personalized strategy to land clients in place, and then we are kicking off a 30-day Land Your First Client Challenge starting January 18th. And that'll go January 18th to February 18th. And when we do this call, or when we do this challenge, women are able to go from 0 clients to up to 3 clients in 30 days from consistently taking action. So if you want to participate in that, you got to enroll ASAP, because we are, I'm not, for my sake as being the teacher, the coach, I hate that word, kind of facilitating this, I need everyone who wants to do this in on a certain time so that we're all on the same timeline, keeping up. So the deadline to participate in that is Wednesday by midnight. And our first check-in call is going to be December 22nd. And all of these check-in calls are in addition to our weekly Wednesday calls, which are, free game for anything. And then, all right, I'm gonna hop off. I gotta go get some stuff done. But if you have any questions about this, please drop them in the comments. I'll be answering them on Instagram all week and hanging out with you there. See ya. Have a good day.